everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 10th of January. Now, if you are new here, I pretty much let my guides channel through to you. Please subscribe if you haven't and hit those like buttons, guys. It helps me a lot. And feel free to comment down below. I am here with my doggos. I've got Sophie, here's asleep. Sprocket is down here. They're about to go on a big walk, actually. It's a really hot day here today. It's going to be in the 30s. Which is kind of nice. I'm actually enjoying a bit of sunshine. I know you guys like listening to the little birds here. When you're having winter over there, everything seems to hibernate, doesn't it? A lot of you live overseas that watch my channel. And I also just want to say a big thank you to everyone who does watch my channel. It's a crazy channel with music and strange things on it, but I do appreciate your constant support and all the amazing feedback that you guys give me. You always talk to me so regularly. You know, I've got Karen, Lisa, I've got a couple of Lisas, I've got Karen, Kat, Pam, Shirley. There's just so many people. Louise, Martin, of course, not to forget you, Martin, and I've got my coffee. High Vibe, Madman, Mafra. Oh, look, there's so many people that I can't name all of you. I do try to get back to your comments because I do really appreciate all your input and your constant feedback. Catherine, of course, you're always chatting to me down below. You are a wealth of information. So look, I just want you guys to know, and if I have missed your name here, I'm apologizing for that because you are important to me as well. Anyone who writes down, Nicole, anyone who writes down below, you know, we've built a little community here of like-minded people, and we sort of are on the same page with our thinking. So look, I do appreciate it. To anyone out there, I will try and get back to your comments. Sometimes YouTube does hide them, so forgive me if they hide them. I don't mean to not comment back to you, but sometimes I don't get given the comments, so just to let you know. And also, if you are new, we use a lot of code names here. Just if you get a little confused, you will figure it out in the end that we call a lot of the leaders by a code name, just to keep me out of the being squashed down in the algorithms. All right, enough of that. Let's get on with the reading. Okay, for the 10th of January. Oh, and yes, tons of global protests, guys. Massive strikes, massive protests. Brazil, Paris, huge mongers. These are huge. Go and check some of the videos out. If you can't get them on YouTube, check out Rumble and a few other sites. But it's happening. People are standing up to the BS and garbage that that's being forced down their throat, basically. Okay, I'll see what else we get. Oh, getting London. We keep getting sushi. Sushi's up to a lot. We know he's cooking his little, he's got his little, what do you call it, witch's cauldron, and he's cooking up a lot at the moment. We know that's what sushi's up to over there in England, London. But he is giving you political stability. I keep saying that on the global stage. So, but he is cooking a lot up at the moment. They're showing me him with his cauldron doing a lot of putting all the ingredients in. I'd say it's the ingredients of the reset, but he's cooking up a lot, and it's all bubbling, ready to come to the surface. And so we're all what? Well, sushi's waiting. We said that yesterday. He's like the cat on the hot tin roof waiting to bring everything out. At the moment, he's doing his little visual seed planting where he's popping up here and popping up there and planting little seeds about helping the people. We know that's happening with sushi. I had someone yesterday, who was it? Someone asked me about Canada. I haven't had much about Canada lately, which is not a bad thing. I was thinking that no news is good news, remember, guys. So like I keep saying to you, Trudeau's had to back off a lot because he doesn't want to go through what he went through around the Ottawa protest. He doesn't want to be questioned about crazy things, about the Emergencies Act and all that again. So he's not going to come down as harsh. If there are protests, he's going to have to approach it differently, and he knows that. So he's kind of sitting back assessing the situation at the moment, I think, Trudeau. He hit too hard, and he's learnt that lesson. He knows that now. That's why I still feel like Canada, you'll get the strength to stand up, but I feel like people are still a little hesitant in Canada. And that's why you might find it might be more the convoys. I think we talked about this again the trucks, the farmers. This, you might get more, sorry, I just gotta have some coffee, guys. I think you're gonna get, oh, itchy nose. What's that mean? You're going to get more of that kind of thing rather than, I think, people marching in the streets. I feel like it might be more that road trip convoy kind of thing. That's what I'm getting for Canada. Hang on a minute. See, Trudeau, they're saying that Trudeau's very manipulative. He can manipulate things to suit his narrative, and this is with his wording. We know he lies. He's very good at lying. Look at all the lies around the inquiry or the hearing or whatever it was about the Ottowa protests and the Emergencies Act. It was all lies and false, and he made it all up. We know that he did. We knew he was making it up at the time. But of course, nothing comes of it. No consequences for the actions, are there? So, you know, again, he's manipulated everything. It's so sickening. I can imagine how frustrated you guys in like Quebec and Ottawa and Canada, how you must be feeling. It's very frustrating. But no news is good news. So take that as a tick and a positive. He's laying low at the moment, Trudeau. I think he's actually observing a lot of the other global leaders to see how they're doing this. And we know it ain't going so well for Macron. Macron used to be very clever in France, but Paris has really risen up to the challenge. So I feel like he's doing a lot of observing. Trudeau's doing a lot of observing about the other global leaders and what's going on and what the fallout is of what they're rolling out. In other words, steamrolling over people. That's what I'm getting for Canada and Trudeau. All right, let's see where else we go. God, they're showing me New Zealand. You guys are getting fired up over there. They're showing me the Mel Gibson Braveheart freedom fighters. It's got that image again of the Bravehearts. And again, it's that warrior energy. I always get these visions of warriors. When I think of New Zealand, I get this warrior tribal energy, and it's charging forth. I'm really getting that, like, you know, I'm getting that visual of Mel Gibson on the horse again, like, you know, they can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. They're referring to Jacinda, I'm guessing. But I'm getting this charge forth. So you're going to have some big uprisings. They're coming in New Zealand. They are. I'm just getting these big uprisings. People aren't going to be happy in New Zealand. They're not. God, some of the things she's been bringing out. She's been slowly chipping away at everybody's freedom, hasn't she, over there, guys? So I'm getting big charge forths now. See, people in New Zealand, they're not as scared of government as they used to be. It's interesting, isn't it? Because they're getting more fired up in their belly. And when you get fired up in your belly and you get angry, that's actually not a bad thing because it forces you to act. So I feel like a lot of these sleepwalkers in New Zealand are going to sort of get behind you guys over there who are already awake and start to fight back. So I'm getting that real charge forth energy in New Zealand. It's great. That's what you want. You don't want small minority groups standing up. Oh, God, even though we know they never are. They only tell us that on the mainstream media. So that's what I'm getting for New Zealand is a real charge forth now. It's coming. It's coming in New Zealand. Fingers. Okay, what else are we getting? Oh, my dogs are tired today. That's a change, except the tail's wagging. The heat really makes my dogs really tired. Being wolfhounds, they kind of prefer the cold. So they'll be puked after their walk today. I'll just see what else we get. Yeah, I'm getting Australia. Oh, my God. Australia's coming right up the ladder. We knew that Elbow was trying to climb the ladder of success with all the global elites, and he certainly is. We're right up the ladder now. Well, this is very competitive, isn't it, guys? We knew these global leaders were competitive, but Elbow's quite competitive. He's actually surprising everyone because he was the little quiet achiever, but he is quite, what would you say? He's going to be quite ruthless in his rollout here in Australia, Elbow. Like I said yesterday, he's getting together with all his premiers of all the states, and he's trying to get everyone on the one page so they are all grouped together and they move forward at the same time. I'm still getting that here in Australia. It's almost saying to me like he's putting out this pilot program. What would this mean? So it's almost like he's trialing something. That's what I'm getting for elbow. He's starting to trial something in Australia. Oh my God. It's a little pilot program to see how people react. And then if he gets an okay reaction and no one freaks out too much and there's not too many protests, then he'll move things further. So I feel like he's, what would you call it? He's edging his way forward kind of thing. What do you call that when they're just creeping forward very slowly? I feel that's what Elbow's doing. But it's significantly going to change people's lives. See, we know this year's the year of the shift. So people are going to start to wake up out of their coma, the sleepwalkers. They're being forced to wake up. But Elbow is doing this in a very cunning way. He's bringing everyone together and he's going to start to do this little pilot program, meaning he's doing little sort of experiments, but they're all part of it as well. But he's just easing people into it slowly, easing people into the reset slowly. I don't think you can ease people into the great reset slowly, can you? Because the minute they realise they're going to wake up, oh God, I hope they do anyway. Although we know they're pretty slow as a snail when it comes to waking up. So Australia is moving forward. Yep, elbow. It's all happening. Actually, there was a video of, I think it was even on Carl Vernon. I can't even remember. I watched so much Carl Vernon. It's funny as, guys. You've got to go check him out. It's hilarious. And it was Dictator Dan down in Victoria here in Australia, carrying on about his wonderful Moderna factory and what it cost. But, you know, how can you put a price on saving lives virtually is what he's saying. It's just a circus. How much money is Big Pharma making from all this crap? It is relentless. Like I said, now we've got the immortal CV virus that is just, you know, taking over the world again, and we're back to where we started again like 3 years ago, right back at the beginning almost, except remember there's more people awake now because they've had jab injuries, they've lost their jobs, they know the crap that is being dished out to them is BS and garbage. So, you know, we are in a different place to where we were back then when everyone fell for the ridiculous narrative that they tried to push on everybody. Well, people aren't quite falling for it now. Well, we know we're not falling for it. We never did fall for it. So that's what I'm getting. Just, yeah. And that's about Australia, that Elbow's climbing the ladder and starting to implement his pilot programs. Hang on a minute. It does feel like this is digitally. He's trying to be savvy with the digital stuff. I feel that's his focus. See, realistically, they know the infrastructure's not there for all the renewables straight away. That's going to take time. So they do have to set realistic goals. But I feel like the digital currency is something that they could start to get a little bit of a handle on, which they are doing here. Like I said to you guys, what, 4 banks have probably, about 4 banks have shut down here in my country town. We've got 2 banks here at the moment, and I have heard rumour that the last one's going to shut down very soon, and Commonwealth Bank's going to be the only one left, which is, of course, the one probably that is going to be associated with the digital currency. In fact, they've already got credit scoring things on their apps already. So they don't really hide it anymore, do they? It's all coming out. But, of course, if these sleepwalkers aren't looking for the information, they just trust their government. Not for long though, like I said yesterday, they're sitting at the bus stop waiting for government to save them. This is globally. These sleepwalkers, people in their bubble denial suits, are waiting for government to save them from all the financial collapse and inflation and everything that's going on, and the terrible virus, not to forget. They're going to be waiting a long time because the bus is never going to come. Because here in Australia, as we know, the buses are on strike. Just saying. In South Australia, there's mega bus strikes. Huge. Got their flags. It's all happening here in Australia. So strikes are starting globally too. So just, coincides with the bus. Them waiting for a bus from their government not going to happen. All right, let's see where else we go. Oh, I'm getting China. China's taking a bit of a nosedive. I told you that the people have stood up more in China than we're even aware of. The little people have a lot of strength and power in China, because you've got to remember they have had a effing gutful. They have had 3 years of absolute dictatorship. We know that they have. And they're over it. They're burnt out. And there's been a lot of loss of life over there. A lot of loss of life. Apparently, that's probably true. It's probably more from the jab, I'd say, than even the CV virus. But if you lock people down for that long and then you let them out, they're all going to get sick because there's no natural immunity. Their immune systems have dropped. We know that's what's happening. Actually, guys, speaking of, I actually heard, I think it was on the news last night, here in Australia. It might have been a global news. They were talking about some of the CV virus effects of this new virus. Of course, we knew this was going to happen, didn't we? And guess what one of the symptoms was? Yes, we know it's going to affect people's brains, and it's probably more the jab. I always think that the CV virus is kind of connected to the jab somehow. I don't know how this works, and we were talking about this yesterday. There seems to be a link. The more people are jabbed, the more they seem to get CV virus. They get it once or twice or 3 times. I don't know what it is, like magnetic. They just seem to attract it. But they're saying, oh yes, apparently the CV virus affects your immunity. Yes, we always knew right from the beginning that this could become an immunity problem, didn't we, guys? Because there was a lot of talk about HIV, and then you become dependent on, yes, jabs and all this kind of stuff, So this is what they're putting out there now, that the CV virus really does affect your immunity. It sure does. Oh, my God. But I don't think it's the CV virus. I think it's the old jab that might be doing that. So that's what they're starting to tell people now, of course. We knew CV virus causes everything, apparently. All the side effects of the jabs. Nah. Oh, yes, according to all the governments that caused by the CV virus. This is just getting crazy, guys. Actually, this morning here in Australia on the news, I was telling you the other day about that strep A, rather. God, SARS. The strep A thing in the throat for the children that's on the rise here. It's probably on the rise globally. And now, this morning, they come out and say that there's a shortage of antibiotics for children in Australia. And they showed the tablets. So there's not enough tablets and antibiotics for children, conveniently, as the strep A for children comes out. So I'm guessing, like I said, they're going to bring out a jab for the strep A, because there's just not enough antibiotics, so we're going to have to look at vaccines, aren't they, I'm guessing. So they're just feeding so much BS, guys. God, every time we see something, guys, don't we, we're just like these BS detectors, and we go, oh my God, seriously, how do people fall for these lies? It's all, that media is so manipulative. It's incredible, isn't it? They just manipulate the narrative, plant the seeds, and then there's a vaccine to fix it. So a big shortage. Never had shortages of antibiotics in the whole history of time, have we? And suddenly there's a big shortage. So, and in children, they said antibiotics for children. They were very specific. So, we do scratch our heads a lot going, oh, that's kind of convenient, isn't it? So we know they're going to bring out more jabs for children to help with their probably immunity. Oh, God, I'm so over this, guys. I don't know how they can just keep being pincushions. It's back to that voodoo doll image again, where they're just being jabbed like a pincushion. I don't get it. God knows what's in these things. Imagine giving them to your children. Anyway, not for us to judge, is it? They can do what they want, as long as they leave us alone, which they never seem to. Let's see where else we go. God, I'm getting taxis. I'm getting, they're showing me yellow cabs, like taxis in America, and then I'm getting black cabs. Is it the black cabs in England? I'm just getting these visuals of cabs and taxis, and it's kind of saying like, these are going to be dying out. They're going to be fading They're going to start to fade. And I think we could probably all agree that it's probably a lot to do with costing. How can people afford to run a cab and make a profit? See, they're making it impossible because you think of the cost of fuel, the cost, oh, well, what if they have to switch to EVs? It's getting complicated for taxis and cab drivers now. And that's such an essential service, isn't it? Especially for like older people or people who don't drive. I know we've got Ubers. We do have that modern equivalent of the Uber, but I am getting that these things are starting to change now. There's a big shift because of the cost of fuel and the rising costs of maintenance and all this kind of stuff. I am feeling that they're being outpriced, but as we all know, they want everyone to use their public transport systems, buses, trains, so they can click in with their little e-cards or whatever you call them and their tickets and be tracked and traced. So I am getting that this is going to start to become a problem probably at the end of 2023, I would say. Taxis are going to find this is all getting just too stressful and it's not worth their while. So there's a lot of pressure on that industry, and this is globally. If they're showing me those kind of cabs, this is globally becoming a problem. It's not worth people being, and again, you think about it, that's probably not a small business. It's probably a medium-sized business, a lot of these cab companies. So I am getting that very strongly. They might even strike, actually. You might see a lot of taxi strikes and cab strikes globally because it's just getting, it's out of reach now. How are they going to afford the fuel? God, we're all struggling, aren't we? Like, imagine if you're driving around all day long. It's nuts. Oh, my God. I mean, how are they going to charge up and have EV vehicles? Like, totally impractical, isn't it, if you think about it? So I am getting that. A lot of strikes maybe towards the end of the year and a lot of them closing down as well, which government would love because then they can trace you, track and trace you. Forcing people again to use public transport. I'll just see if there's something else to close with today. God, I'm getting this song. It's actually from The Greatest Showman, actually, and it's if I could reach for the stars, la da da da. I think it's again, it's getting back to a bit of a trapeze act. I think it's actually, who's that guy that sings with that girl and they in The Greatest Showman, the movie The Greatest Showman, if you've seen it. It's such a great movie. I really enjoy that movie. And you know what the message is here? It's like, yes, we are different. This is for you guys watching my channel. We are different, but when we come together, we're strong. And that's why I'm getting that song from The Greatest Showman, which is the show with Hugh Jackman in it. They're all different. They've got the lady with the beard. It's the circus show. Oh, I know. Speaking of circus shows, we know we've been watching Escape from Clown World, the circus show over here. But this is about all of us being different. We are unique. We are different. We're strong. We believe in our truths. We march forth. We do things that other people wouldn't have the courage and the guts and the strength to do. So we can reach for the stars. Again, I talked about the trapeze artist walking on the trapeze the other day with that U2 song. All I Want Is You. But this one's if I could reach for the stars, and they're spinning around. I'm just trying to think who that singer is. Oh, he's on the tip of my tongue. That young guy, Zac Efron. That's him. He's in that movie as well with Hugh Grant. Not Hugh Grant. Oh, he's an Australian guy. Oh, Hugh Jackman. Oh my God, I'm getting myself so muddled up. So it's from The Greatest Showman. Like, we are all different. We have, you know, coming together as individuals, though, we're strong. And that's what that movie's about. It's about uniting in our individual differences, but staying strong and having that power and that great vibration. You think of The Greatest Showman, it's like a musical. God, how much music do we get on my channel? We get tons and tons and tons of crazy songs, guys. And that's about vibration. And we're making a difference. And that's why the guys are saying, reach for the stars. If I could reach for the stars, La, 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 la. And they're spinning on this trapeze. It's a great film clip. I wish I could think of the song. If anyone thinks of it, write it down below, please. Oh, I'm so hopeless. But I'm sure most of you have seen The Greatest Showman. It's so beautiful. It's just a great movie about being different, but also accepting yourself and coming together with like kind, which I think relates to all of us rebel, freedom fighter, braveheart bikers that we are, that we stay together and united, because that's how we help lift the vibration and how we move everything forward. So that's what I'm going to leave you with tonight. Look at my big dog over there. I told you he's like a polar bear. Oh, Sprocket. God, love him. All right, I'm going to say goodbye from Australia. I'll leave you with that song. Let's go check it out. It's such a great movie, The Greatest Showman. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out because you won't be disappointed. It's got lots of great meaning in there about being different and how it's okay to be different, and it's you know, you can make a difference. And you can bring joy also into other people's lives. So we've got to keep that vibration up. It's very important, guys. So I'll say goodbye from Australia. Take care, everyone. I'm just off to walk my dogs because my doggy whisperer is here. She helps me walk the dog sometimes. And I will say goodbye from Australia. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. And stay strong and enjoy being different. There's nothing wrong with being different, guys. That's what makes us who we are. We all have different strengths and qualities that we bring to this world. So, you know, let's keep doing that. So take care, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye from Australia, and bye from Sprocket, and bye from Sophie. Okay. Oh, here they come. She's got a big sore on her nose, the poor thing. Oh, they're off for their walk. Look out. Looks like we're off. Oh, God. All right, before she shuts the curtain again. Oh, no, she's already doing it. Oh, bye. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.